This is Justin AMZN on Monday, December 24th, 2018. Merry Christmas Eve. Today, the market closed early, about noon Central, and there's still a little bit of trading going on, I guess, after hours, afternoon. But the morning just kind of opened up right on our last line. The lowest line that I've got drawn, extended all the way to the right here and opened below it, retested to it, and just sunk down almost to 1300, right on 1307, had a sharp rally higher, came right back into the same level, almost came up to the same high, retested from above with this candle, nice hammer candle, and then continued going and actually took out all their pre-market highs and then almost made it back up to our line here at 1404 before just rolling over and coming back down, consolidated here a little bit. I'm sure there are a bunch of bears jumping on bullish, thinking it's going to do this again. That's it. Market's going to rally from here. And then more bulls getting in here. And next thing you know, it just takes that out. Turns into a bit of a flag, takes that out, and a little hammer. Some hammers in here, retest from below, very similar to the open. And then this was right before the market closed. So just sunk again. But the day opened up about the same as it closed. This rally and then collapse. 5-minute rally, 5-minute collapse, 5-minute rally, 5-minute collapse. That turned into more. And then because the market closed, that was all that we had there. So didn't really interact too much with this line other than maybe here and maybe here. Just a harder day to trade when it was doing this kind of thing, going so extreme. Excuse me. Some people thought this is it. It can't just continue lower again. And, it did. So switching back over to daily, this was the last line I've got drawn on here. So this line is drawn in at 1355. We actually opened and closed below it, ran down to 1307. The last time we were at 1307 was February 9th. And prior to that, this low was 1320.72. So that was back on February 5th. So anyway, we've not been at this level for 10 months. It's a long time. Very nice high wave candle. It doesn't have to be over, doesn't have to, rally from here. It can just keep on taking this out. So if we zoom back out quite a ways, look at what we've done. We've rallied, for a year plus, from this kind of accumulation here, and then turned into a public participation, continued on up. We've just been pulling back down. We really could come back down to 1,000. How crazy would that be? So now that we were actually through this line, it's a good idea to go back and look at some of these previous levels and see where our next stopping point could be if this is not it. There's what I thought is that this was going to hold as an inverted head and shoulders and be really strong to, at least get back up to the all-time high. And instead, that right shoulder never formed. It looked like a couple of opportunities that it could have right here, kind of a flat shoulder right here, looking like, okay, it could go to this level. It got down this far, even this day. But as soon as this day came in, it's like, no, it's a little too close to the low of the head here. And so the last 2 days, have really just been that total collapse of that idea. And so that's why, you kind of speculate thinking, okay, it could do this, could do that. Let's see what it actually does and then trade it. And so, we got to see, okay, what happens here if it continues lower. Being a holiday week, I'd like to see this consolidate and go sideways, have a couple bullish days in here this week. The market is closed on Christmas, so maybe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, get some candles that are inside this range. This had nearly a $90 range. if we can consolidate here, especially get some bullish candles and then gap below that in, either still this calendar year or in the next couple weeks, um, that could be really something if we take that out. So we've already taken out this stair step here. And really, I was looking at this stair step as kind of being, the last chance this had to collapse before it just rallied. Not collapse, but, last chance it had to really just break down, trap some people. If we can do something similar, stair stepping in here, even if, if you look at this candle was a high wave candle, had an inside bullish candle, a couple of bearish candles, taking out that low, and then from there, I mean, we've been above it ever since. Still, this candle, we've been above it. Not this one, but what if we do something like this high wave candle right here? This one was actually larger. This one was $138 range, which was massive back then. $90 range doesn't really seem as large, but anyway, I guess we'll have to see what happens next. So if we come back into this candle, buying here, short in the open, the options, the 1400 calls are something you could have been looking for. They were quite a ways away out of the money, but when we got into that hammer to buy, I mean, the risk reward was much too large. And so I guess if you had to go a little further, like the 1450, possibly. So the 1450 would have been here. That hammer was, where's that hammer? Right here. 930. Is that where that was? Yeah, 930 candle. So we're just looking at this now. Let's see if we can restore. There we go. Okay, so this candle here was this candle on the 1450 call. The range on that was $1.20, so still didn't have the restore. And part of it is because it's a Monday and it's a holiday week, so you're not going to have the premium. And the market closed early today, so you're not going to have the premium pulling out as much as it usually does. And then if we're looking at selling, short in the open, would have been buying puts at the open, like 1,300 puts. But again, where do you put your entry and your stop? This is just too large a range. We get up here. This candle was a little bit smaller. That was still $1.51 range. And then that just kind of went sideways here, slowly grinding higher. But I mean, do you really want to be buying puts into the 1200s? Is that really the way to go with this? So this one here, that was $76 range. I mean, just the values in these were so large. It just made it a little bit harder to find the right option on a Monday, and not knowing really, how I was going to interact with these lines because it just hasn't been here in so long. So much more difficult day to trade, and just the interactions with this line. So I guess the only thing you could have done is maybe shorting, buying puts at the close, but you got to get in and out of it at just the right time, and that would have been challenging. Possibly could have been buying a low here. That was 910. And then getting out at the close. Yeah, maybe 1010. That's only an R. So, I mean, that would have been with a 1250 put within the last 10 minutes of the market, waiting for it to come back up into this like it did here and here. And I don't know, that just seems like, it's putting the trade at a little bit higher risk just because the market's closed the next day and closed early today. And I don't know. I think we just wait and see what happens the next couple of days with the holiday week. The volume should be lower. I say that, and then let's go check the volume and see if that's accurate. Yeah, well, lower than the previous day, but not horribly low for a holiday. I mean, this day was, what was it, the day after Thanksgiving or before, something like that, right around Thanksgiving. This day, that was really low volume. So we still had you know, like double that, I guess. 2.728. Wait a sec. Volume on this is 2. This. Why isn't that showing up? There we go. Some idea. Okay, so yeah, more than double, right? So I guess we'll just wait and see what happens this week. See what kind of move we have. And when we still could really rally out of this, I would look for a move into the 5 exponential and then the 21 exponential, or this line that we had drawn in here. But I mean, I can probably get rid of that line. We'll see what it does. If it does something when it comes back up to that level, if it comes back up to that level soon. Otherwise, I'll probably forget why I drew it right there on that day. But we've stayed below it, so I mean, we could rally back into it. But anyway, I hope everyone enjoys a Merry Christmas, and I will try to be keeping up with these videos this week. And hope you enjoyed this one. This is Just AMZN. Thanks.